What's up, everybody? Joseph Sunderman here, Creative Tech. Not the Creative Tech, just another Creative Tech like the rest of you. What is a Creative Tech? Hell, we don't know. We're figuring out ourselves. Welcome to the 31st episode of Sessions. Again, my name is Joseph Sunderman. I started this channel here as part of a lab, per se, to help me get good at social media and becoming an influencer. Don't know how I'm doing so well. Would love to hear feedback from everybody. But what my purpose here is to help people with their personal brands just get a really good grasp of their personal brand and truly define it and design it and design their life, design the desired state they want to be in. And we are going to talk a little about anchors today. Anchors are things that, you want to travel when you retire, and you want you and your wife to be able to be financially free and be able to do whatever you want, or maybe you want to have an RV and travel the US and not have a home. I don't know, but whatever those things are, those aspirations are, those are what we call your anchors of your desired state. You have desired state for today, and obviously we can't control everything. We can't control what region we're born in. We can't control what color our skin is. We can't control, there's so many things about us that we can't control. But what we can control, that's what this show's about. Objectives are things that we can control. Things we can't control, we need to be aware of those things and know how to manage those things. We call those matters. So when we talk about the Creative Tech, there's a framework here behind the Creative Tech. We help people get to their desired states by defining those anchors, and we help them design with the objectives that they have, the things they have control over. How do we define those things and line those up? How do we build your objective pipeline to get you from where you are now to a desired state? And if you know those anchors, well, you're on the right path. So that's what this is all about. Today's episode is what all episodes are about. We find a focus, one thing to talk about that is, illuminating and making itself a fuss, something we haven't talked about yet, but something that we need to talk about on the show. And that thing today is, because I'm about to lose my flipping mind, is resilience. My God. I don't need to do the show today. I got this going on. I got that going on. There's just, screw that person. And you know what? I love you, but everybody can just, we're humans. We get overwhelmed. And, I found myself this morning as I'm getting ready and being dealt with matters that just really, I got to deal with this right now. And it's just making me feel like, and then the doorbell rings and you get a letter and you're like, oh, well, this is good news. Like, I'm really ready to pack up and move to Iceland. I'm ready to start all over and throw it all, flip away. I'm done. I'm flipping finished. I'm not doing it anymore. Man. Again, today's episode is about resilience. That's why I'm having a little bit of a meltdown right now, because it's real. Like, this is authentic. When I have these shows, I know that I want people to watch. I want people to gain something from this. I want people to hear me out, but I also want to hear out other people's problems, because I know that it's hard. And going through this long enough, I know things will be just fine tomorrow. The world's still going to be spinning, hopefully. I don't know, this election coming up, does that add any fuel to anything? Even if it was a great election, and hell, I don't know who to choose. They're both so great. I wish those were problems we had. What happens when you don't like either candidate? When you don't like either party's rhetoric on the far extremes of either side? What happens when you're like the rest of us Americans and you're in the middle? Because that person, I guarantee if there was that person and we were all aware of that person, we knew that they didn't stand on the left or the right, that person would probably win. And I know it wasn't that Kennedy dude. I'm not very big into politics. I'm not going to pretend like one person being voted into office is going to change the whole trajectory of our. Yeah, no. There's still going to be managers and leaders in place today. There's already enough rhetoric. There's already enough ugliness and toxicity in our culture. And what we're seeing over time, we're not using swords and beheading people anymore. We're civilized now. We're weeding out the uncivilized. And if you're aware and present, you think about evolution and as we're becoming better, how we're supposed to be better than our past generations. Here's the things I see us needing to change: leadership, the way we look at leadership, the way we define our leaders. I think of having two candidates, one with locker room talk and the other one trying to be an overachiever. They both have so many strengths. They both have so many weaknesses. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like a lot of what's going on in the world, let alone in my own circles. And we all have to deal with every external element there is. We have politics, we have home life, we have our business. And if you're somebody that's working for somebody else and you're happy in that state and you're where you want to be and you're paying your bills and you like the company, they're taking good care of you and your family and providing you what you need to take care of yours, and you're taking good care of them, that's a beautiful thing. That's not what this is about. I'm not religious, but I do see like there is some envy where there's people I just know. Their faith is so beholden to them. They are so, nothing you can say will shift their faith. And they use that faith for frameworks and as anchors to get them through life. And that's great. I don't use religion. To me is I need things tangible and I feel like there's something bigger than all of us. I have no idea why we're here. I have all these questions too. I'm what you call agnostic. And before you go trying, don't worry. My grandpa's probably already sending me some tapes and some Bibles. Like I keep it all, and I do research religion, but politics, religion, all these external things that, our culture is intaked. All I want to do is put people that are rational and practical and that are objective about things and know what they can control. Because when you can't control something and you are trying to, subjectively you're an idiot, or objectively you're an idiot. I'm an idiot, obviously. So today's focus is on resilience. We have 3 topics. Why is resilience so important to the creative tech mindset? Well, we have aspirations. That's why. Those aspirations won't come true unless you are resilient, right? You want that first car when you turn 16 to be this dope, little Sportster. Then what are you doing today to bring that to life? Or are you just saying, well, mom, dad, yeah, if they love me, they'll buy it for me. If that's the way we're raising our kids today, well, fuck me. We're in trouble. Pardon me, French. So, how do we, and just so everybody is aware, I want my kids to have everything in the world that they've earned. And I didn't come up with that. That was, what's his name? Big money guy, Buffett guy, Warren Buffett or something. Somebody came up with that, and I like it a lot, and I have adopted it. It has become one of my anchors for how I raise my children. There's so many. Child of Ren. Obviously, I'm a hot mess right now. I've been going through a lot. And that's why we're talking about resilience today. The third topic, what you need to take away from, I don't think I talked about the second topic yet. Second topic is foundations. Why is resilience so important? Well, we have aspirations. How do we, as creative techs, how do we stay resilient? And the why being aspirations. Again, we have those aspirations. Well, how do we keep resilience in mind and keep it going? Well, we have our foundations. and we'll talk about foundations a little bit. I was going to use frameworks, but I feel like frameworks is overplayed in the creative tech where you have that all over the place. And frameworks are great, but when it comes to life and having resilience and keeping yourself grounded, we don't just need frameworks. We need solid foundation to hold all the weight of what we carry. And as somebody that is a creative tech, if you are a creative tech, somebody that is entrepreneurial, somebody that lives with intent, and somebody that is on their grind, if you get to a point where you have employees, I mean, your employees' problems will become your problems. If your employees can't do their job, your business will suffer. When you are a creative tech, you are the foundation. You have to be resilient. You have to know what you're aspiring towards. You have to have drive, grit. You have to be a monster. Just like a ninja warrior or an ancient warrior of any sort. They have a sword and they're fucking deadly with that weapon, but they would never use it unless they have to. Just and being weak, Jordan Peterson, somebody that is very religious and somebody that has a lot of sites that I don't agree with, but he has a lot of foundational things that I agree with. And this is one of them. We take care of our people. So for you to be that kind of person, are you built for it? Can you be resilient in face of all kinds of tyranny, all kinds of obstacles and hurdles being thrown at you? Matters that you have no control over. If you don't have solid frameworks and foundations for what you are doing and who your brand and what your building is becoming, you will crumble like a cookie. You will just fall apart. So having these foundations and building them with, marble, like solid, titanium, we want this to be solid. And what aspirations do you have? Are they realistic? Do you want to be a performer and be on stage and have thousands of people just going through an experience that you are driving and having them all like singing along with you on your words? Do you have any idea the power behind that? That was one of my first aspirations. In fact, it's still one of my aspirations to this day. Like, I hope someday that I redeem myself to a point and get myself to a point where I have a band where we can get up on stage and we can make it happen. And part of me wants it to be with some of the people like Rob. I mean, Rob, I hated your drummer, but I didn't hate it so much that, I wanted you not around anymore. Asshole, take better care of yourself. I miss you, fucking dick. Anyway, but Brad, I know Brad's around. I hope he's doing well. I hope his, experience and he's in his desired state. But if he wants to play, I would love to have him going down on stage with me. I would love for that to happen, and I hope someday that with all the work that I'm doing right now, that I will have the opportunity to say, hey, Brad, I know your employer, somebody that relies on you a lot, is there any way we can find somebody to take your place? Because I need you for 6 months. I'm going to pay you to go on tour with me. How dope would that be? Like, I want that. That's not one of my big anchors. Is like, if it doesn't happen, oh shit, oh chucks, no big deal. My anchors, one of the main ones is just being old with my wife and being able to sit on a front porch somewhere and just be together and be happy. Like, that's the main anchor. So this journey for me, unless my wife starts saying, well, I want a house here and I want this there, because my wife is my anchor. I love that woman. Her and I being happy and growing old together, and that's everything to me. That woman is everything to me. My kids being in that picture when we get older, I want my kids to be happy and thriving and be able to jump on a plane and come visit us in our beach home somewhere and have a Christmas holiday with us. And we understand you have your other parents and other things to do. We'll do it a week. We're very flexible. And that's what we always want to be for our kids. Like, hey, listen, we're flexible. We love you and we want to have a great experience with you. Let's talk about it. What does that look like for you? And right now, with all the poisoning of the well and all the ugliness going on, it's out of our control. We cannot control what other people say and do. All I can do is control what I do and say with my children when they're with me. And when things are so toxic, we're not going to get into that too much, but just so everybody knows that I have dealt a lot in my life. I've high school dropout's one thing, but I wasn't beaten as a child, but there were some fuckery that happened when I was a kid, but we won't get into that. That was after my foster care when I got to Kenton, Ohio. Kenton's just, I love Kenton. I just wish that we could put something. Anyway, I'm getting way off track. I'm talking about way too much personal life here. Let's get back into business mode. Life's been hard on me. That's all I want to say. And I know life's been hard on all of us to some degree, some worse than others. And I know that there's kids today that have it way worse than I've ever had it. So contrast against things makes it easier for resilience, by the way. And we're going to get into that here. I do need to get into these topics. We're 20 minutes into the damn episode almost. No, we started at 1:15. 15 minutes. So yeah, we're 10 minutes into. Okay. Don't have the agenda done yet. We got so much to go here for the show, but we do have our focus in 3 topics. I don't even know if I finished talking about those yet because I'm all over the place. We'll get better at this. Give it time. We have aspirations as the why resilience is so important to the creative tech. How we do these things is with our foundations that we put in place. And then what you need to know to take away from all of this is anchors. And I've talked about anchors a little bit already, like what an anchor is, but we'll talk about them a little bit more and how we apply those in the desired state with the objectives versus matters framework in order for you to uphold build your foundations and keep them in check, right? All this stuff. This is what we call the creative tech mentality. It's something that I've built using AI to, do some research and based off other things. Again, life is difficult. We all learn different ways. And I need a simple way to dumb it down to where I can talk about these things to others. So again, this whole show right here is to help me get good at this whole explaining to you and building frameworks that you can adopt and use. And if I can get good at doing this with the creative tech, watch out, Ikora, because those businesses and those teams for big organizations, we're coming for you next. We're going to help the fuck out of you. We're going to help you so fucking much. You're going to be so helped. Wow. Look at all that help. I'm an idiot. All right. Let's take a look here. We have a viewer on Twitch currently. Well, hello, viewer on Twitch. Feel free to ask any questions or anything that you're, wanting to spit out or do. And if you're a bot, please send over your solicitation at your earliest convenience. Now, back to the session. Let's go ahead and get into aspirations. Growing up, you might say, I want to be a fireman someday. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a this or that. But at some point, from that childhood to your early adulthood, you're going to start dabbling and you're going to start finding some kind of direction. You're going to start finding who you are. And if your parents truly love you and they are raising you to have your identity, for you to be an authentic, true person that's honest and doesn't have to lie to friends. Like, you can tell your friends that, hey, I don't feel well. I don't feel like coming today. You don't have to tell them, oh, I have this fictitious game that I made up that my family has to go to today, so I can't come to your birthday party, even though you came to my birthday party. When you see your kids behaving in this way, how do you approach them and talk about it in a way that lets them see that, hey, I guarantee you, your friend If you would have been like, hey, listen, I know you came to my birthday party, but I really don't feel well today. I'm not going to be able to make it. Have fun and send pictures. But also I know that you just don't feel like going because your body's not in motion. You don't feel like. I caught one of my kids lying to their friends about going to a birthday party once, and I told them, like, you can't do that. Raising your children and helping them find who they are in a authentic, genuine way. That's something that I think you don't just do that with your children. You do that with your team members. You do that with everybody. I wouldn't want anybody feeling like they have to lie to somebody to get out of doing something. And part of having good aspirations and real aspirations is if you're authentic with yourself, your aspirations that you create, they have to be just as authentic as being real yourself. And depending on who you are and how you handle things, are you self-aware? Do you know what you do, and are you correcting those behaviors? Because some of these behaviors will take you away from those anchors. There's a lot to life. There's a lot to your personal life. And if you don't think your personal life bleeds into your professional life, you're wrong. Your professional in your life and your personal life, this is what we call the fabric. And even if you're clocking in and clocking out for somebody else, you still can design and refine your life to be the way you want it to be. And that's what this is all about. Living with intent, finding your purpose. And technology is just a tool to help us get where we want to be. We don't even want to look at a Creative Tech's technology stack until we get to know the person. We want to know who the person is because we're people first. Icora is the same way when it comes to business. We want to know who we're working with. Do they react to things like the leadership, the owners of the company? Are they reactive? Do they delegate in a healthy way? Are they using modern workforce practices with radical leadership and things of that nature? Because these are the things that build the culture that you want in an organization that's thriving, where your employees are pushing your narrative instead of you trying to pull everybody and keep quality in check. You want your employees to understand why quality is so important and that it's a reflection on their personal brand. If you're hiring people that don't even care about their personal brand, what the fuck makes you think they're going to care about your brand? I know I would be a very difficult person to work for. I mean, just ask my wife, my poor kids. Because I don't like taking the easy route. I want authenticity, and I want honesty, and I want my home to be a place where we can be honest and where we are doing our best. When we make a mistake, we'll say, hey, I made a mistake. And this goes into business. This is why I say it's with Icora and your professional brand. How do you stay resilient through all that? If you're a hot mess and you're constantly late, you're constantly saying, oh, I can't do it today. Oh, I can't. I'm calling in today, or just staying in bed until 10 a.m. because you work for yourself and you don't have any meetings today. So I guess I can just sleep in bed. Well, to me, that's maker time that you have. You need to have a structured schedule. You need to be working for that schedule. Not everybody's built for this shit, Joe. The Creative Techs, the ones that are going to watch this, the ones that truly get it, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the ones that want to get up and they want to own their life and they want to design that life and they want to fucking make it happen. That's who I'm talking to. In today's episode, Resilience, if you want to have a production company, an IT company, and do business coaching to individuals and have tech stacks that clients just thrive because of what you built, if you want to do things like that, you got to get it together. I had to get it together. And if I can get it together, if I can quit drugs, I can quit lying to myself and having imposter syndrome and truly becoming the person, authentically be the genuine me I want to be and be unapologetic about it. Fuck. The freedom, the power, the confidence, being able to build boundaries with those you work with. and knowing the value you add. These are things that come with time. I'm 45 years old. I quit apologizing to people saying, sorry, I'm just a high school dropout. I'm still trying to figure it out. No, I got it figured out. I'm not perfect by any means. I know I still don't know a lot, which keeps me very humbled and keeps me very open, but I know how far I've come. I know what my journey has endured, and I've seen those around me struggling to deal with what I've been doing, and to have a healthy relationship with me, because a lot of what I do makes people reflect on themselves. People don't like to work with me because I make people's shadow side come out, because I am not placating here. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I want true growth. And that has to be done in a there's a dance to this, okay? Yeah, just so much going on at once, just wanting to just give up. But knowing that you've come so far, and that's another thing that's helps me out so much. Like when I find myself overwhelmed, I know, well, Joe, take a deep breath. Don't go off on that other parent because of their circumstances and them being caught in their ways. Losing your composure and telling somebody how you feel in a state of not being in your composure. I don't like the way I am sometimes. And knowing these aspirations, knowing what I've been dealing with, and knowing how far I've come, and seeing my kids, like I know my kids are struggling because of everything, but I love them. I know the best way, because like none of this is going away. The only thing I can do is I have to control what I can control. And the only thing I can control in this situation is how I react. And I know to be resilient in the face of all the stress I have going on, both with the business is going so good. My issue with the business is getting my website up and getting people to see and start getting that sales funnel going, getting my sessions filled out in my schedule. I need to learn to sell shit. I need to learn to get people to go to a website and fill out a form and do things. And that's another thing I need to focus on here on the show. The Creative Tech, it's a beautiful, this whole thing I'm building right here with the Creative Tech, it is its own business. Literally a coaching service that could help people with its own unique framework that could be marketed in a certain way. Yeah, I can build a business. And if you want to take a look at the business and see the model and how we can start doing subscriptions and terms of service and how we keep control of quality of the service we're providing, and how we have measurable KPIs. And when somebody does sign up and say, hey, why would I pay you $250 a month to have a few hours of meetings with you every month? Why would I do that? Well, you would do that because we're going to build your frameworks and give you a foundation. We're going to figure out what your anchors are. And that way, when shit starts going down and you start struggling and matters happen, these anchors, these things that we put in place for you, these are the things that you have to do to stay resilient. And if it keeps you going to the next level and you get to scale your business, that's why it's worth the money. And if you're not there yet, that's perfectly okay, because I'll be here when you are ready. And these shows, I'll continue doing these for free. So ask your questions, get involved somehow. The Creative Tech will continue to grow, but when you're ready to when you have objectives of value and you really want to get started, hit me up and let's polish up that framework. Let's make it look good. Let's make sure you're communicating everything effectively. And if you think you're already there and you got it, great. If you want a second opinion, I'm happy to look at it with you. The bottom line is this shit works. I have business owners that will tell you what I do works and that I know my shit. And that's another reason why I need to have this website done. I need to have my social media done. I need to have people praising what I've brought to the table. That's what I need. And I also need to figure out how to say it in a way where they think they need to do it. How do you get people to come to the conclusion to do the thing that you're suggesting. I've been reading this really good book called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. He owns a company called Black Swan, I think it's called. Anyway, I saw his masterclass on Masterclass, and hearing his negotiation tactics and how the FBI has built their negotiation, how they approach things and the questions they ask and the mindsets behind it. I just know that some people are very easy to work with and others are not so easy. The only thing that matters, though, is what can you control. You have to be able to take a lot of shit being at the state. People are going to tell you how horrible you are. People are going to tell you how you don't help anybody, or that people are going to say some horrible things and try to stop you. Things are going to happen that are going to make it harder for you to stay focused and stay on point. Understanding your true desired state. What does that look like? And when you're faced with matters like today, I ran into something pretty troublesome. And because of my aspirations and because of the frameworks I have, I was able to easily compartmentalize that matter and put it where it belongs and the rest of the puzzle of what I call my life. And I know I can't do anything about it. I mean, I can do something about it, but nothing immediate, nothing that's going to give me immediate results. And sometimes we want those results now. I've been learning I'm not very good at it, by the way, just so we're all aware. I still lose my composure from time to time. But even when I lose my composure, it's not, and part of me losing my composure still is because I think it's not that bad. Like, it is bad. Losing your composure, period, is bad. And every time it happens, it shows me how much growth I have to go yet. And I'll tell you, I lost my composure today. I got pissed off. And you don't communicate when you're pissed. I communicated when I was pissed. And it ruined the effectiveness I could have had if I would have had it with a rational mindset. But I'm not giving up. I'm staying resilient. I'm going to correct my composure, which I've already done. I'm going to correct what I can correct with what I can control. I've already put plays into that. And now I just stay focused on my aspirations, and I put the matter into the framework where I can work on it when it's time to work on it. Today I have a show to do. Not working on it today. Pissed about it. I need to talk about it. We'll make it the show on resilience and how even when shit's tough, I'm telling you, things are tough right now. Don't give up. Do your show. It may not seem important to people around you, but the thing that's happening right now, you can't do anything to fix it right now. What you need to do is stay on point, show those that you love that even through tough times like this, you're going to stick to it. I'm glad that I'm able to go to work every day with all the stress going on in the back end. And I am a little concerned. I know some people that know business say, "Oh, Joe, why are you talking about how stressed things are at home? If you're trying to sell services online." And I truly believe in being authentic. And I can assure you, anything that's going on right now, it's not affecting me personally to the point where I won't be able to do my job or anything. It's affecting those that I love. And it's really hard to watch, and I just want to do something about it, but there's nothing I can really do about it. The things I can do about it are very expensive and take a long time, and we don't know what kind of results you'll get. And we've already done it twice. But it's okay, because those first two times, We weren't quite there, but they did recognize the issue. So this next time we go back, oh, God, I hate court. I hate dealing with such ugliness. I hate it all. But that's what I have to deal with. And because of the successes of what I'm doing here, I might as well just, while I'm trying to build all this, I have, my wife and I, we have 6 kids that we love tremendously. One of them's already grown up and out of the house. So, 5 of them that we need to worry about. One of them's been told, hey, you are bringing some real bad toxicity into this household and there's some lies going on. You don't need to be here until this is all figured out. So that's one kid off to the side. And because of all the ugliness, all I can do is tell my child that I love her very much, that I'm here for her if she needs me. But the way things are going, I just don't see me and my daughter having a relationship. And, after the first 2 miscarriages and then finally having this child and loving her so much, and then for her to be kept from me the way she has been, I mean, I know I'm tough to work with, I'm tough to live with, but using my kids against me, I don't give a fuck if everybody, it's part of my story. It's part of how I got here. It's what gave me the grit to get off of, quit feeling bad for myself. Get your shit together, Joe. Get off the pain pills. Quit numbing your pain and lose 100 pounds. Get your shit together and make something of yourself so your kids can see that and do it in a way that they love you and they see you thriving. There, I fucking said it. On LinkedIn, everywhere, there, it's out. Imposter syndrome could even go off a little bit easier now. I'm 4 years, almost 5 in February, it'll be 5 years for my daughter's case. She was 11 when we filed. She's going to be turning 17 in fucking April. And this case, anyway, it's not easy. I started my business in 2019. We filed in 20, very early 2020. So it's been, it'll be 5 years in April that we've been in court, or in February. We won our change of circumstance. It took us 4 years to win that. It's been a year in trying to get a turning, all this shit going down. Don't talk about it, Joe. Don't post things about it online. Well, here I am talking about it. I don't care. I love my kids. The courts are not built for dealing with these kind of problems. That's why there's such an epidemic going on with alienation in kids. And you see it across the board. I've heard about, my wife makes good, dealing with such ugliness. And these people want to mess with, it's so hard when the kids are in the middle of all of this. It's hard on the kids. I hate seeing how it affects my kids. And how am I focused on this when my kids are going, I'm telling you, the way I used to deal with it was not pretty. I was abusing drugs, playing video games, and numbing myself and just shutting down and distracting myself with everything I could. I busted my ass and I worked off just to have the money to sustain that lifestyle. No more, I said. I got off the pain pills. I got my money right. And by the way, child support caught up. Taxes, all done. Finances squared away. My relationship with my kids are worse than ever. And I'm fighting tooth and nail for them. And it's not easy. I am doing all of this because growing up, at one point at my mom's house, when we were growing up, I was probably my son's age now, 12. There were over 100 cats in our house. I would constantly get attacked by, I'd have cat scratches all over me because, you try to pick one up, get it off your bed or something, it'd scratch the shit out of you. Fleas. I would probably get. I remember being pulled aside at Westview because, or the middle school because, and this is after I had surgery on my hip. I was in a wheelchair. I had fleas all over me, and the nurse pulled me aside and said, "How do you have all these fleas?" Like growing up in that filth and having a parent that took more care of those cats than they did the 3 children that were in the household. That's how it felt anyway. When I found I could have kids, neither of my kids were by mistake. I wanted my kids. Miscarriages. Get healthy. Stop partying. Go to baby classes. Doing all this stuff. Finally, Olivia's here. Her mother and I broke up 6 months after Olivia came. I thought it was postpartum depression. Turns out I learned later that it's way beyond that. And I can't. This person is so toxic that my child, with us being together, it's not healthy. My child would be better off if we weren't together. And sometimes I question that. Should have stayed and helped Melissa get better? I don't know. But bottom line is, through all of the shit I went through, all the bad choices I made and getting behind financially, thinking that it wasn't worth it. I'm not going to be around until I'm, knowing me, I'll be around until I'm 110 and fucking hate it. I shouldn't be here now. That's how I used to think. God, I used to be such a hot mess. Transformation is something I've done. That's why I feel like I'm qualified for this. I'm qualified to tell you what resilience is. And I'm qualified to tell you that if I can do this shit, even with everything seemingly going to shit, I'm resilient. I'm going to keep my posture. I'm going to set my boundaries. And I want to help everybody. I want to help. I would love, just like I wanted to bring my friend Brad from back in the day and have him, here when I'm able to afford to have him go on tour with me. Like, if that happens someday, people are acting like I'm already there and I should be paying out tons of money, and that's all this is. Even the court system is saying, well, hey, buddy, well, don't worry about the kid right now. Let's just look at your money. My kid is dying to go on vacations with us and be here for holidays and birthday parties and shit, and she can't because her mom says we have to stick to the order. If I'm 10 minutes late picking her up, I'll pick her up 10 minutes late next time I get her because I only get so much time in the order. The order says this much time, and that's all I get. So if I took 10 extra minutes this last visit, you'll lose 10 minutes on your next visit. That's the mentality that my kids are being raised with, and I can't fix it. I have to accept that's how it is. It's hard for me to accept that. How can I make a difference in the system? Well, right now I have 40 small businesses throughout Cincinnati that rely on my tech stack. I am bringing a wave of cultural shift through these companies to the point where they're supporting me in all my efforts. They don't even know the fuckery I'm dealing with in the back end. They're doing that because they believe in my work. They see how passionate I am. They don't know what's fueling that grit. They don't know why I'm building the foundation I'm building. Because it's for my children. It's for them to see that I love you so much that instead of doing drugs and let myself deteriorate, I'm building this for you. And all they're hearing is, look how selfish your dad is. Look at how he's living. Look at what he's doing. And by God, they buy it and they live it. It's hard. Being an entrepreneur is hard. Living life is hard. I want to just be happy, and the ones that I love to know that they're able to be themselves and be authentically them. There's a reason why kids that are 10 can't go out and just fuck whoever they want, right? It's because if they do that, they're so impressionable. And my kids are the ones making all the choices right now. Well, they don't want to come over. That's their choice. They don't want to go on a family vacation. That's their choice. It's really hard on me. And it's really bleeding through on today's episode. Oh my God, I'm having a meltdown on my show. I'm losing my composure. Let's just say life's hard. And I don't know what your situations are. I know you have situations, and they may be way worse than mine. You've had traumas and things that you've went through and pain that I don't want to think about right now because I'm an empath. If I start thinking about others hurting, I will literally start losing my shit right here and crying. So, as a professional, on this platform with the Creative Tech, on my personal brand, divulging this stuff, what I'm telling you is that you're capable. If I, at 28, am having my first child, and then again at 32 having my second child, going through the shit I had with my other baby mama drama, to the point where I'm 35, I am losing my job at a good company because I'm I can do everything better than everybody else, and didn't really know how to properly communicate that. And it's not true. I can't do everything better than everybody else, but at the time I did. And that was part of my downfall at the time. That was before I did a lot of soul searching. That's back when I still contributed to the alienation that was happening. That's back when I would react and lose my composure just for the fucking fun of doing it. Figuring that shit out 35. I'll be 45 in like a month and a half. I'm getting tired. I'm getting old. I'm feeling young as ever. I'm feeling better than ever. I got more energy. I can run and do a flip on the ground and just like tackle people. I feel great. I do. And I'm not giving up. There's a lot going on. I have some really good anchors that I've developed. I've developed this system to help me stay focused as somebody with ADD and a drug addict and somebody that deals with a lot. Recovering addict, by the way. I've been sober since for 10 years now. And in that 10 years, I've transformed myself. And I planned on doing that with the people I was with my partners at the time. But again, I wasn't mature. Obviously, if you're not mature and you're getting with other people that are immature, that's a difficult road. Truly learning what maturity is and how to be mature. And learning not to react. Oh, that's a tough one. Anyway, I love my Bubba. I love my daughter more than anything. And yeah, my daughter's not welcome here at the moment because of how bad the lies and the manipulation has been. I told her I love her to death, but it's just not healthy for her to be here. And my son is 12, and you can't say that to a 12-year-old because they're just too young and they don't realize it. In fact, you don't even want to talk to them about it. You deal with it the way you can deal with it. So despite all that going on in the back end, it's been a rough day, and I wanted to talk about when you have a bad day. Here's how I'm able to get my composure back and keep it. What frameworks do I have in place? Let's take a look at that for a second. This just really pissing me off. Oh, I'm going to fucking tell everybody how I feel. I'm going to go off. I'm going to go do something about this. Wait a minute. Hey, whoa, before you react, time out. What do we got going on here, Joe? Let's take a step. It's a Saturday. It's a kid weekend. You got your kids here. You're enjoying your Saturday. I can hear the little assholes upstairs right now running around. Love them to death. They're my little assholes. I have a show going on at 1 o'clock. Nothing going on right now. If I did anything, nothing's going on. Like, putting energy into anything right now is dumb. So if I look at my framework for a kid weekend, here's my frameworks and my anchors for kids weekends. Keep work at bay at minimal. Yes, you can still do your show. In fact, have your kids around while you do your show if you can. My son was down here as I prepared the show today and was on that stream. If you ever get on my Facebook, my personal Facebook, you're welcome to check out those streams anytime. Yeah, I'm a little bit more open than I am here on this, and this has been pretty damn divulgent. Is that a word? Anyway, I'm going to stick to my foundation of it's a kid weekend. We've already prepared this weekend's festivities. We got Kings Island's passes, so we're taking the kids to Kings Island for their haunted whatever, blah, 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 blah. We got our pumpkins to carve, so we're carving pumpkins either today or tomorrow. Again, we got a whole whirlwind of things we're doing here at the house this weekend. And my focus is when those kids are here, for them to have the best experience ever. Some shit went down this morning. Had to deal with my son in a certain way. Obviously, a 12-year-old having a cell phone, maybe not, oh my God. I knew girls would be stressful when they start dating boys and stuff, but God, boys could be stressful too in their own right. Oh my God. Anyway, because of my frameworks and because of my desired state of, I don't want there to be this turmoil in the house this weekend. And again, a lot of that turmoil is being brought in from external, my wife and I truly believe that the kids, are they coached to the point of, hey, when you go to your dad's X, Y, Z? No, it's in all the little things that are being said. It's all the like, oh, look at my dad got me this thing. Oh, your dad just cares about blah, 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 blah. And why do you like that thing's ugly? About like the way they talk to the kids about things. And I've heard them and I've seen it. It's they're not hiding it, which is why it's crazy to me that the courts see how this is going down. And yeah, I shouldn't say the courts. We can't even get in front of the fucking. Yeah. Let's drop it. Bottom line is I'm able to, with my frameworks, talk to my son, tell him, hey, this is what I see. I can't control any of what's going on here, but I don't like it, and this is what I'm going to do about it, and that's how I handle it, and we move on. So if I didn't have my anchors, if I didn't have my foundations, if I didn't know my aspirations and where I was going with my life, I would be still very angry. And it wasn't until I had that desire state and I started building those frameworks and working towards it and seeing the results, that's what allowed me to stop being in the minutia of it all and being angry and playing into the hand that they're trying to deal. I'm dealing a new hand. I'm not allowing what they do affect me anymore. I'm treating them like matters. I've been developing the objectives versus matters and the documenting how we actually frame this up. And when we look at a person, basically, let's take a moment to talk about desired state, because we only have 6 minutes left. And I really didn't stick to the script today, and I'm kind of went on a tangent about my personal life. So I apologize to all that. That was a little bit of me getting out some things today in this episode, but it's important. Because I don't know what you're going through, and I would love for you to tell me what you're going through. And I'd love to have a session with you, so schedule a session. If you have something similar going on, I want to help with your personal brand. And because of my understanding of lifestyle and what a desired state is, there's an equation, okay? There's it equals desired state, right? There's a lot of variables before that equals sign. I should get my iPad out and draw all this out. Maybe we'll do that in the next session. But bottom line is in that variables in the equation, you have things like, do we have good transportation of vehicles? Yes, we can check that box off here. We look at the other parent, like if we're looking at the family and the dynamics and things that we may have to run into and risk and things of that nature. I know we have transportation. We can come and go and be prompt and consistent with schedules and things of that nature. I'm flexible with my schedule. So when it comes to my family and my kids, I know I can do all this stuff. So we'll look at transportation. We look at those as matters and things of that, all the variables. What about the home? Is there a place for the kid to sleep? Does the parent have a place to sleep? Is it the parent's home or is it somebody else's home? Like when we start building out the structure and the equation equals desired state. I want my son to be happy and healthy as a 12-year-old. That's the desired state for my son. He has, a home at his father's house and a home at his mother's house. Are they both adequate and meeting the standards for what we would consider a desired state? There's a bunch of variables in here, but we get into people as well. And people are variables in this equation. And you got to put them in there. Like, who else is involved? Okay, well, we got the siblings and the parent of the other parent and all these things. We can't treat the people in this equation, the variables in the equation, the same way we would treat like transportation. The people actually have extra attributes to them that need to be configured into the equation. How does this person react to things? Are they proactive or do they manage things well? Oh, there's so much to this whole model I'm building and the way you can frame things and qualify things. What if there were 1,000 things thrown at you at once? What would you do? That was a question asked to me by John Salisbury. And I think about that question a lot because that when you're an entrepreneur, that's what it's like. Things are being thrown to you like crazy. And I would say, when he asked me that, I told him I would do this. I would duck if 1,000 things were thrown at once because I'd want to protect myself. He got a little chuckle. That was cute. But no, but when I think about it, I already have 1,000 things thrown at me every day. And I need to be able to qualify that thing stat. I need to look at it and process it just like that and know how to deal with it. And that's the power of what I do. I give frameworks for you to quickly, as it's being thrown at you, do you catch it or do you move out of the way and let it fly by you because it's not even fucking worth your time? When something comes at you, you have to think about it quickly. Is this something I can control, yes or no? That's the first question. And let's say it's objective. It's something you can't control. Well, you already have an objective pipeline. Is there something already in your objective pipeline taking care of this thing, or do you need to add this to your objective pipeline? Is it something that you need to do, or is it something you can have somebody else do? Again, there's a breakdown of qualifying things as they're being thrown at you. If it's something you can't control, is this something that's affecting something that you can control? Is this thing that you can't control affecting something that you do control? No? Why does it fucking matter? Let it go. That matter, that speed ticket, that whatever it is, just deal with it. Take care of it. Do you think you have a fighting chance in court? Do you want to go to court? Maybe you have objectives saying, hey, you can't have any points on your license. You got a ticket. Well, guess what? That affects something that you need to control. That matter absolutely needs to be dealt with. So understanding when a matter comes and how to handle and how to manage that matter. Do I go ahead and just pay the ticket and be done with it? Well, you're going to get points if you do that. But if you have good framework and you go into that court and you say, hey, judge, listen, I was in a hurry that day. I made a big mistake. Here's some objectives I have going on. And right now, if I get these points, this is going to happen. Is there any way we can rectify this where I don't have points on my license? Do you know what that judge is more likely to say, whether you saying something like that rather than, well, I was speeding and I really like you not to take it off. I'd really not like to have the points if you don't mind. Like, judges want to see people like the courts and the laws are not here just to fuck with people. They don't give a shit what you're doing as long as you're not fucking with other people. Obviously, you can't be speeding, but as long as you're not doing anything outrageous, they're probably going to listen to you and work with you because they see that you have a bigger thing and how this is going to affect you, and they're willing to work with you because what the courts really want is to see that the laws there helping push people. And yeah, if you're speeding, just pay your ticket. That's there to deter people from going over the speed limit and keep the roads in somewhat of a civil. Could you imagine if there was no speed limits, people just driving like crazy? Like, I know how some people drive with limits in place now, breaking the law. I know how I drive. People would go nuts. It would not be okay. So again, frameworks, having a desired state that you're working towards that others can easily see, oh, that's awesome. Or, oh, you know, that's cool. That's your thing, but at least you have a plan. You know, the guy on the beach that's homeless, that's happy as fucking, like, happy as you've ever seen anybody, is because his desired state is to be free of bills, structure, appliances, dealing with any of it. And sometimes I think being a beach bum sounds pretty fucking dope. All I need to do is maybe put 10 grand in the bank and I'd spend maybe $1,000 a year for the next 10 years. I'd be living it up. I'd spend about $100 a month on groceries and eat nothing but ramen, and probably sleep in a tent somewhere. You know, I take that out of my butt. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I'm being an idiot at this point. Woo! What a show today. My God. All right. So, didn't I talk about anything as far as the tribe goes? The influencer stack? I basically just bitched about my baby mama drama on a professional show. That's going to hurt my reputation to some degree, I'd imagine. It's part of my story and where I am. And it's something that's really affecting me. And would have been better not to do the show today, because I don't think I could have done the show today with this going on. I talked about it to some degree to get it out. You know, I do have other loved ones that I've talked to today about the situation that they see, and they support me, and I know my wife supports me, and I know the other people are going to be ugly. That's their defense mechanism. That's how it's a survival thing for them. I feel bad for them, but that's just how they are. That's how they survive. And if you're somebody that, you know, I could give relationship advice, I could give all kinds of advice. I would like to think I'm somebody that's good for that. You know, I don't know what to say. I know that I want to help people. I want to empower people, to show them that I know I didn't think I was good enough. I know I didn't think I could do it. I know I gave up. I said, fuck it, I'm not paying child support. They don't let me see my kids. I'm not going to. I had this very toxic mentality. And putting myself out here, even with really nobody watching. Not to say anything to anybody that is watching. I can't see all the stats. I'm on different platforms right now, but I know I'm not getting a lot of engagement. This is more for my personal development right now. But yeah, it makes me feel good knowing that I've come this far. I'm building the frameworks that I'm building, and I'm not letting the negativity deter me from staying focused and moving forward. I think if you look at yourself hard enough, you're going to see the frameworks I'm talking about. You're already doing them. And if you don't have frameworks in place for some of these things, I guarantee you can see how they would benefit you if you had them. And they're easy to do. It's so easy to do. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you have resilience to get to your aspirations. And I hope you're defining what your anchors are. Those are the things that we would talk about and focus on in your sessions. We want everybody to have a beautiful experience on this planet. And yeah, pain will make you feel alive. Trust me. We need pain We need to know it's there. We need to know how things can be tough, and life's hard whether you choose to wait for things to happen. That's a different type of hard rather than make things happen. I choose to make things happen, and you have to start building your own frameworks. You have to build out your own personal brand. Whether you do it all in your head or you do it the way I'm doing it, where you actually start documenting and structuring it all out, you can do it in your head. I got pretty successful by not journaling and documenting things, and I got to a certain point. But in order for you to truly grasp your own desired state and figure out what that is, you have to be aware. You have to put some time, meditate, think about yourself, put yourself in other people's shoes, and try to understand what empathy is, and try to be kind and explain your frameworks and your thoughts to others. If you know somebody will disagree with something that you really want to do, why would they disagree? You know, a lot of this is understanding. And again, I don't think, you know, I love my kids. I want nothing but the best for their mothers. And I hope that we all can get the help, professional help. Because I'm sure I could still, I know I have room for improvement still. That's what these professionals do. They understand our mentalities. They understand what authenticity is. They understand what having an identity and being yourself and being able to be yourself and be happy and not have other people around you make you feel bad for wanting to have a relationship with somebody. Like, you know, I want to be some form of healing for this crazy culture we're in. I'm trying to be something, some kind of authority in professional work environments with workforce development and personal development as well as for individuals. I want to help people that are struggling to overcome those struggles. All right. If you haven't already, please go to tribe.creativetech.ai. Sign up and be part of the tribe. Again, we're not really engaging and doing much right now. We're building it up. We're building the frameworks. We will have a website and start doing marketing and ads and things of that nature coming 2025. Right now, we're still building out our framework. You can see the shows, everything that we've been working on. We have our database. So go to align.creativetech.ai so that way you're in the database. We're building a database of influencers, and we're adding columns to that database that gives us information that will give us great insights. And if you fill out that alignment form, where it is today, version 1, if you fill that out, it'll give us some insights. And especially if you schedule a session with us, which is step 3, go over to sessions.creativetech.ai and schedule a session with me. You can do a 15-minute session if you want, but I like to have an hour session to really dig in, to have a deep. Right now, you can do either, whatever's best for you and your time needs. And we're here to help. We want to make sure that you get your free session while we have them open. That's the season we're in right now. Yeah. Frameworks. It's crazy out here in this world. With politics, religion, relationships, career, family. Life is supposed to be a journey, and you have your place in it, and I hope you're enjoying your space in it. All right, everybody. I'm signing off. I appreciate everybody. And as always, keep it heavy, keep it real, and we'll see you next time. Peace.